Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So just a quick injury report for you guys and a little bit of a quick preview as well. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well, and make sure you guys check out BetUS. Alrighty, so let's get started. We'll start off with the injury report, but the Washington Commanders will be traveling to Seattle to play the Seattle Seahawks. It'll be at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, so a little bit different than the usual 1 o'clock game. Let's talk about the Commanders' injury updates. Nothing crazy. Curtis Samuel is questionable for the game with a toe injury, so we'll see if he plays. They might give him another week off. And then Emmanuel Forbes, he practiced in full and will be good to go. Won't be listed on the injury report. So for the Commanders, they're relatively healthy. Obviously, you got some guys like Ricky Stromberg, who he's on IR. You have Derek Forrest, Jeremy Reeves, and some other guys that are injured, but they're relatively healthy, which is good. For the Seattle Seahawks, so this was their injury report last couple of days. The first day they had guys like Kenneth Walker, Jack Smith and Jibba, DK Metcalf, and Jamal Adams not practicing. But now, on Thursday it was the same thing, except for, I guess DK practiced on Wednesday, but not Thursday, and with a hip injury, and Jordan Brooks as well. And then right now, only guy that's out is a guard, Anthony Bradford. I honestly don't know who he is. No one's doubtful. And then Jordan Brooks, DJ Dallas, Colby Parkinson, and Kenny McIntosh, all those guys are questionable. I think one of the Seahawks reporters was saying that he thinks Jordan Brooks probably plays, and he's a solid linebacker for them. And the other guys are kind of just rotational players. DJ Dallas is their third running back and probably plays on special teams, and Colby Parkinson, solid tight end for them as well. But they got Will Dissly as well and Noah Fant. So, they're deep at that tight end position. But, yeah, man, overall, the injuries on both sides, both teams are relatively healthy. So, yeah, overall, both teams are close to fully healthy, and we're going to be playing the Seahawks close to full strength. So really no excuses on both sides when it comes to injuries, and they're getting guys like Jamal Adams back. I think he was out a while with quad and stuff injuries, and then had a concussion in his debut this season against the Giants. And then I don't know if he played last week, but looks like he will be playing this week for the Seattle Seahawks. So he's not the same player he was early on in his career, but he's still pretty good, can get to the quarterback as well. I remember I think it was 2020, he had a big game against us, had a couple sacks. So definitely something to watch out for. They have some good players on their defense for sure that we have to watch out for. So let's start to get into keys to victory, and then I'll give you guys my final score prediction as well. But before we do that, a huge shout out to BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
And again, make sure you guys check out BetUS. Link in the description. If you use that link, you get 125% first-time deposit match. That's a great deal. And as you can see, the Commanders are currently 6.5-point underdogs, on BetUS. So if you think they're going to win, you can make a lot of money. Or if you think they're going to cover, you can bet on that. But as usual, bet responsibly. All right, so now let's get into some keys to victory for the Washington Commanders. Let's start off on the offensive side of the ball. We're gonna have to protect Sam Howell. The offensive line's played a little bit better the last couple weeks, but also Eric Bieniemy's done a better job of not dropping Sam back as much, and mixing in some more screens and quick game stuff that has helped out Sam a ton. And also Sam's gotten rid of it quicker and avoided those sacks as well. And even one of the sacks he took last week, he stepped up, and it was only a 1-yard sack. So that's not a big deal at all. But that's something they're definitely going to have to watch out for. But a player that has been wreaking havoc on the Seahawks is Boye Mafe, who has a sack in 6 straight games. And he's been a beast, second-year edge guy. And yeah, man, he's definitely someone to watch out for. yeah, whoever he's on, whoever is matched up against him, Andrew Wiley or Charles Leno, might be a long day for them. If, we can limit him hopefully to no sacks, but even if it's only 1 sack, like that's a win because, again, he's had 6 sacks the last, 6 games at least. So, you're going to definitely have to try to contain him. And then the Seahawks, if we look at their stats, some not even advanced stats, just kind of regular defensive stats. You look at the Browns, they're the best run defense in terms of rush per attempt, 3.7. You look at that's not right. The Bears are at 3.2. Browns are, top 5. But then you look at the Seahawks, they're kind of below average at 4.2. They're right around where the Commanders are, so you can run on them. It's not like they're terrible against the run. They're not great. They're slightly below average against the run if you look at it, yeah, they're below average. So you can definitely run on them, and so are we. We're below average if you look at it. 4.3 yards a carry. I mean, definitely that 64-yard run by Ramondre Stevenson definitely increased that number, but still you can't allow, big carries like that. But you can run on the Seattle Seahawks. It's, again, not their weakness. And you look at passing yards per game. The Cleveland Browns are first at that, and the Seahawks, yet again, kind of middle of the pack. We're near the bottom, but they're right around that middle with 232 yards a game. So you can pass on them. They're an average defense. Points per game wise, we'll go ahead and look at that too. Baltimore's number 1. Seahawks are, slightly below average, I would say, and we're right at the bottom. We're at 27.2. They're at 21.9. So their defense, I would say, is average to below average, but they definitely can get sacks, which obviously that's one of our weaknesses, is allowing a lot of sacks. You look at, in terms of amount of sacks they have, they are top 10. They're eighth overall with 27. I guess tied for 7th with the Cleveland Browns. So they can get to the quarterback, which that starts with Boye Mafe, but also Jamal Adams can get to the quarterback, and they've got some other pass rushers as well. They traded for Leonard Williams as well. So their defense, it's kind of one of those games where I think a balanced run/passing game, a balanced offense will be something that the Commanders need to look for. Don't need to drop back 50 times in this game. Run the ball, and then, just a balanced game. This is one of those that's perfect for that. In certain games, you want to run a little bit more. Certain games, you need to pass a little bit more. I think this game, the Seahawks don't have a glaring weakness on their defense in terms of running versus passing. So I think you can do a little bit of both against them. And I think our offense will, do solid against them as long as we don't let their defensive line dominate the game. And on the offensive side of on the defensive side of the ball, I would say they have playmakers. Kenneth Walker III is a beast. Zach Charbonnet, their second round pick, I believe, this year, running back, he is good as well. And Kenneth Walker is a little bit banged up, but those are guys you definitely have to watch out for. And then also receiving wise, they have Jackson Smith and Jibba, DK Metcalf. They also have Tyler Lockett. I'm scared, man. I know Emmanuel Forbes had a good week this past week, but that was against, let's keep it real, not great receivers. They better not put him against DK Metcalf if he plays, because I think DK is playing. But yeah, he better not be going up against DK, because we know what's about to happen. DK is about to absolutely dominate him because of that size just height alone is like 2 inches, but then also the weight, that's got to be at least 50 pounds difference between DK Metcalf and Emmanuel Forbes. So I would try to avoid that matchup as much as possible. And if you have to kind of bench him this game, it is what it is. You can start out playing him, but if the Seahawks are going right at him and DK Metcalf's lined up against him every time, then, hey, we need to win games. So if you need to bench him, you can, but I don't think that'll be the case. Again, he had a good game against the Patriots, and I think confidence will definitely help. That game was more for confidence. I think it'll help him out a ton. And yeah, I'm hyped for this game. We'll see what happens. In terms of score prediction, I think we can win this game against 6.5 point favorites. The Seahawks are. I'm going to go 27-24 Washington Commanders. I know I'm being optimistic, but we play well against the Seahawks. And if we want to make the playoffs, we're going to have to win a game like this. We're going to have to win against the Seahawks or the Dolphins or the Jets. One of those games is going to be tough. The Jets, by that time, Aaron Rodgers might be back, and then we'll probably have to beat the Cowboys at least once. So this is a game, if you win, you're in a good spot, honestly, to make the playoffs, because then you'll probably beat the Giants. The only reason I'm not saying probably is because the Giants absolutely own us. But if we lose the Giants with DeVito as their quarterback, I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, man, big game for the Commanders. Tomorrow we'll probably have a video out on the defensive line. This defensive line needs to play better, especially after trading Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Like, these interior guys, they need to step up. So Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, looking for them to have a big game and fluster Geno Smith a little bit. He's been struggling as of late. They got, dominated by the Ravens last week. So, that is another thing to watch out for. Defensive line, if you can fluster Geno Smith early, then I feel like we'll be in a good spot. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.